remaining in their home, they can listen. But all of you come, okay? Don't leave the YouTube.
We can start with the prayers. Sahana bhavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om, I pronounce after we are having in the mission. Of course, Prakarana Granthas we are doing, but not Upanishad. On the today is the Ashtami, and Ashtami day regarding Upanishad, that means you must have done lot of punya karma. Lot of punya karma. Upanishad, just to hear whether you understand or not, just to hear it needs lot of punya karma. Regarding Upanishad, because that is the essence of all our scriptures. Of course, Ramayana is there, Bhagavatam is there, or Bhagavad Gita is there, but Upanishad is the main grantha. Dhirenji is going to start from Kenopanishad, and all of you please pay attention. It should not be like Arambhasura, one day, and then after that, not coming, not like that. You entirely listen to one complete scripture, Kenopanishad, and then you will take some other scriptures. But I wish all the best, let everything go well, and let us all get. Hari Om, Dhirenji.
Hari Om, thank you, Swami.
Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om.
I think so. I was just checking on my YouTube.
It just says waiting.
You have to refresh it. And there may be a little bit of delay.
Yes, you have one.
Okay. We will chant few more invocation verses and then we will begin. You all know the Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya. So that's what we will chant. Next week I can bring a prayer sheet of all the prayers that we will chant. So then you will also have them. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् परमानन्दमाधवम् Hari Om and my pranams. First to the Lord for giving this blessed life and this blessed opportunity. To the Guru Shishya Parampara for this knowledge. To Pujya Gurudev for bringing this knowledge. To Pujya Guruji, to my Acharya who taught me the knowledge of the Vedanta. To Swami Sharananandji, to my parents for encouraging me, motivating me for all the things that I do. And then to all that are present here, and then to all who are present through live video. So my pranams and thank you all for being here. Before we start, as Swamiji was saying, that, or as many of you are also saying, today is Durga Ashtami. So auspicious 9 days are going. I felt this was a good start to have. And we also seek the blessings of Goddess, of Mother, to bless us with this divine knowledge, and may we come to a closer understanding from this knowledge towards our own self and start seeking that knowledge. If not, then start running towards the knowledge. And if not, then start abiding in the knowledge. So many say that study of Upanishad is very difficult, that it should not be the first thing that you study in Vedanta. So my first premise or understanding is that many who are here know little bit of Vedanta or have studied a bit of Vedanta. The reason why they say it is difficult is because the subject matter of Upanishad is very subtle. And the subtlety is such that you can't really grasp it the way we grasp things and beings in the world. You need subtle things to grasp that knowledge. And that's why it becomes difficult to understand, what the scriptures are saying. It is like, there is steam and you want to catch it. You can't go grabbing with your hands to catch that steam. You don't have the equipment. So if we don't have the equipment, we will not be able to grab much. But if we can make an equipment that is that strong to hold that steam, then it will generate that much energy, that much power. So that's what we must try to do, is that we make our equipment of mind and intellect that subtle. And when we do that, we can also easily grasp the understanding of the Upanishads. It's easier than rocket science, I think. Because if I can study it and I can understand it, I have not studied rocket science, so I can say it is easier. So my request was that if you have not studied any other text before this, meaning you have not thoroughly gone through a text, then my request is that you take up this study with a different approach. And the approach should be that once I go through the lectures, I will reflect on them. I will try to read Gurudev's commentary, read whatever other commentary you want, but try to reflect on the thought and the essence of what is being presented by the Upanishad. That is one thing. The other thought was that not only that, we should also take up a sadhana. We should do some form of sadhana daily, not weekly. That we can easily do. Nothing that we want to do which is out of our course of time and something that would make us even more agitated. So it's something that we do in our daily routine. In that, you bring in a little bit of change. So it could be that every morning that we wake up, after doing all our kriyas and everything, maybe spend 10 minutes just staring at Bhagavan. Staring at the idol, not doing anything at all, just staring at the idol. They say it is a good practice for Murti Puja, an idol worship. You probably will think that you're talking about Upanishad and you're telling us to do idol puja. The idea is that mind needs certain way to focus. So you find your way. I'm just giving some thoughts that you can take up something like that. Take up japa, where for certain period of time you will continue to do japa. Then after that you will do japa in back of your mind. Activities will continue to go on, but the back of your mind you have that thought that I'm chanting the name of the Lord. The purpose for doing this is to make our mind calmer, to let the knowledge settle. Otherwise, we will study the Upanishad and it will be like in the cricket, all the balls will go as a bouncer. So not doing that, we can approach the study in this way. So this way we will get more out of the study and we will appreciate the message or the knowledge that the Upanishads have to give us. So that is my sincere urge and request that as you listen to the lectures and as you go through the text, you spend some time reflecting, spend some time doing sadhana. If you already have a sadhana that you're doing, no problem. I'm not saying that you have to go out of your way to do it. But if you didn't have one, then please take up something and you must do. Now, I just wanted to give a little thought of how I was going to conduct the classes. So this is not a yagna, right? I didn't form it as a yagna. Main reason being is I don't have the time to actually do it in a continuous days. Second is, when yagna is over, after that we hardly spend time reflecting. But if this way we continuously keep doing that, our week will go by reflecting and we will retain more and more. So I thought that as a class, this will be good. And then as it is, since you guys will be gaining knowledge, then I have to get something from you back. It will be a give and take relation. So this give and take, I will give you some questions and you guys will respond back with some responses of your understanding. It is not to see how you have learned. It is more to see how I have taught. So that way I can know where I should spend more time and where I should, cut back. That was the idea for future. So I will give questions, not now, now and then. So that was the idea. And then again, with this being a class, I figured that there may be some questions. So towards the latter portion of the class, say about 15 minutes or so, I will take questions and I'll try my best to answer them. But it will work differently. I will take the questions and answer them in the following week. Because your questions will be a bouncer over my head. So I have to catch up and I have to frame my thought before I respond. So this way, if you have questions as we go forward, you give them to me and next week I will try to answer. If I don't answer, don't think that I'm ignoring. There may be in future lectures, I may answer it. So it may come just within the lecture. So you may get it that way. So I may not specifically answer the question, but if I may, answer all the questions. So that was the format that I'm thinking of. And then, people were asking how many classes this is going to take. My goal is to finish in 2017. We're still continuing Tattva Bodha, which is going from 2015. So people may think this is going to go at 2019. No. We'll finish this year with Bhagwan's grace. Okay. So I thought we'll start today with some introduction, some basic understanding, some underlying principles that we must understand about the scriptures and about what is Upanishad and what is the purpose of Upanishad. So I'll start with a very short story about myself. When I was not even born, my father, he knows how to do, how to see Jyotish and read Kundli and stuff like that. He had an interest, he studied, so he knew. So before my birth, he had told my mom that I was going to be born in Mula Nakshatra. So now everybody thinks, oh, he's going to be born in Mula Nakshatra. I just consider it really bad. So he told my mom and my mom said, I'm not having the baby. My dad said, you can't control that. It's not in your hands. He's going to come, he's going to come. So then when I was born, my father then went to a priest and did whatever rituals were needed so that the dosha of a Mool Nakshatra does not come into my life or even the family life. So he did that ritual. Then I went through school studies. Now, I didn't go through this when I was growing up, but I see that children, they come to the age of Vidyarambha, and then parents again they call a priest and say, "Chalo, now get Upanayana done," right? And then priest comes, does the elaborate puja worship, and then the child is ready for Vidyarambha. So that done. Then after that, child grows up, finishes education, is about the age of getting married. Again, the parents go out, call the priest, and then again an elaborate wedding ceremony and all these things happen. And then once you pass away, the final rite, again you call a priest, do all the karma. And this is how our life is. I only gave you 4 samskara. There are 16. But the idea is, where does this thought come from? How do we come to know that what is the right thing to do for certain situations to guide our life? So there, for that purpose, we say, dharma jignasanam paramam pramanam shruti. For those who are inquisitive or wanting to follow the path of dharma, for them, shruti, scriptures, become the pramana, become the means. And that's what we trust. We have the faith that the priest who is coming and doing these rituals, these worship, has studied Vedas. They've studied scriptures and they know scriptures well. So what they are teaching is authentic. And because it is authentic, because it is said in the scripture this way, I know things will be well. With that understanding, people follow dharma. Right? So if somebody wants to know how to do dharma, they go to Shruti. What about those who don't want to follow dharma? Not saying those who want to follow dharma, those who feel that they are beyond dharma now. Meaning that dharma upadesha is no more meaningful for them. Yeah, you tell me to control my mind, do studies, and that will make me focused. Yeah, you tell me to control my desires, get married, and that will be able to bring a focus in my life. And all these things people tell. But they say, I don't care. I don't want to get married. You tell me, who is this person? Who am I? I want to know who am I. Well, people say, you don't know who you are? No, I don't know who I am. Well, I know who I am, but what I don't know is why I am like this. See, through my mind, I can understand everything. I can see everything. I'm able to picturize. But then I also know that I'm seeing my mind. How is this possible? Through my mind alone, I see my own mind. That is some crazy thing. And then the inquisition continues. Why is the world like this? What is the connection of this world to me? Why do I feel connected to these people only and not to these people? And what is the common connection amongst all the beings? Is there a common connection? So these questions then start coming up. So then people say, I got a better option for you. Here, call this number 911. A medical ambulance will come, they'll take you to hospital. This is the solution. Some will say, no, you come to ashram, we will teach you. You are the perfect student for this knowledge now. So you come and study. So now, in order for that person to know what is the truth, where will that person go? Even if he goes to some guru to learn, that guru has to have that knowledge, and that guru will come give that knowledge from where? Shastra. So, Brahma Jignasanam Paramam Pramanam Shrutihi. Even for those who are inquisitive or wanting to learn about what is Brahma, not what is Brahma, what is Brahma. To know what is Brahma, they also have to come to Shruti. They also have to come to scriptures. So, the Paramam Pramanam, the supreme or the valid means of knowledge is scriptures. Now you understand what is pramanam, right? The word pramanam means pramayaha karanam. I think that's how the etymology goes. That which is the cause for knowledge, meaning that which is the means for knowledge, that is pramanam. So there are some underlying principles that we should know about the pramanam. So there are three things that all valid means of knowledge will do. One is, a valid means of knowledge will reveal that which is unknown. That which is not known to me will be revealed. So in Sanskrit it is said, Ajnata Jnapakam Pramanam. That which is unknown, Jnapakam, makes it known or reveals it, is Pramanam, is the means of knowledge. Right? You don't know what I have in my hand right now. Now you know what I have in my hand right now. What told you? Your pramanam. That which was unknown to you, your ears gave it away. It created a knowledge for you, not created. It revealed the knowledge for you that I had this means, I had this object. So a valid means of knowledge will reveal that which is unknown. Now that is for material thing. We should also understand that even in the Brahma Jignasa, even in the thought of learning about Brahman, it will reveal the unknown Brahman to me. Through scriptures, that Brahman which I didn't know, I will come to know. Obviously, we will come to know as a intellectual knowledge only. I'm not saying that it will be an experience, because in order for you to experience it, you have to experience it. Book cannot show you the experience. It's personal. But it will reveal that knowledge for us. It will show us what that knowledge really is. So, Ajnata Jnapakam pramanam. That is first one. Second is, when pramanam is there, it will create such a knowledge that cannot be destroyed. Abadhita jnana janakam. A valid means of knowledge will not get negated. The object that is revealed will not get negated. That's the idea. Your knowledge will not get negated. You may forget about it. That's a different thing. But that knowledge that was revealed, that cannot be falsified. Meaning that I can say here, I am holding manjira in my hand. The object that is presented to you, that knowledge of it cannot be negated. And you will tell me, no, there is no object. So you're using a pramanam that is called anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi means not there. So because it is not there, I came to know that it is not there. So pramanam will reveal a knowledge which cannot be negated. It cannot be destroyed. So it will reveal, for our purposes, the Shruti that we are going to study. It will reveal the knowledge of the Brahman, the truth, that will not be negated. It is not negatable. It cannot be falsified. Science, when it reveals certain knowledge, today it will give you this knowledge, tomorrow it will negate that same knowledge and say, no, we had our calculations wrong. Some better calculations came out, so now we have a better truth for you. It will falsify the truth. But at the time when it revealed the truth, that truth was real only. That was not falsifiable. So the idea is that valid means of knowledge cannot negate the object which is revealed. And the third is pramanam jnapakam natu karakam. The valid means of knowledge will always reveal. It will never create an object for us. When you heard that sound, it didn't create the manjira. It was there only. Your understanding came to only know that it existed. So knowledge will only give you the object. It will reveal whatever that object is. Sometimes it could be just a subtle form of a thought or an idea. Then what you do to create something out of it, that is different. But you didn't create the object when it was revealed to you. Makes sense, right? You think about it, all this new iPad or new iPhone 8 that is coming out. First an idea came, so the knowledge was revealed. Then with that knowledge, they put things together, and then that came out to be as iPhone 8. Same way, here also will happen. It will only reveal the knowledge, it will not create. Now this is very essential for our Shruti, our Upanishad. Brahman, or the knowledge of Brahman, is only revealed. We don't create the knowledge of Brahman. Shruti will not create a new knowledge for us that Brahman is like this. you should understand Brahman to be this way. I mean, it will say that you should understand Brahman to be this way. But what it is trying to give you is that remove your misunderstanding and you will see your true nature. Remove that misconception that we had in our mind and we will see our true nature, our true self. So, valid means of knowledge will not create Brahman for us. It is not an identity we are creating. Upanishads are not giving us the identity. It is only removing the false identity that we have taken. That's all. Okay. So this is what a pramanam does. Now, we all know that Upanishads belong to Vedas. Right? And then there are 4 types of Vedas. Not 4 types, 4 Vedas. Rig Veda, Yajur, Sam, Atharva. So these are 4 Vedas. And people have glorified Vedas so much. So we will try to glorify a little more. To understand what this Veda is, and also to understand where this knowledge is in the Veda. So that way we can come to appreciate what we are learning, what we are studying. So as you all know that Vedas can be divided into, each Veda can be divided into 4 parts, or 3 parts, or even 2 parts. 4 parts are Brahmana, then mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishads. That's 4 parts. Then 3 parts are Karmakand, Upasana-kand, and Jnana-kand. And then the 2 is Karmakand and Jnana-kand. Upasana is also put into Karmakand, because through Upasana we are also trying to achieve some result. So it is a karma only of some sort. Mental karma, sukshma level, subtle level, we are doing an action. So that's just an idea. So you all know, so I will not go much into it. But Vedas are glorified as they're anitya. No, not anitya. They're nitya, anadi. Vedas are anadi and nitya. So what we mean by anadi is beginningless. We say that Veda didn't have any beginning, because in order to posit a beginning, we have to say that it has a creation. And then for it to have a creation, it has to have a creator. So we don't find any creator. There is no creator. Nobody put a name or initial that I am the composer of this mantra. Meaningless. It has been coming from immemorial. And it is understanding or notion that whenever this word Veda comes, we automatically think it is a book. Yeah, that we hold when it is grasped by our mind and intellect. Otherwise, we can't hold it. Not possible. Mind has to have some framework, a thought has to have some framework in order for us to see it, to actually think about it. So whenever we think Veda, we only have this understanding that it is book. But the book format is very recent. Veda were there before, that were passed on generation to generation orally, and not just few mantras. The entire Veda, all were passed on orally. And this started from Brahmaji. Brahmaji gave that knowledge to his children, and then they passed on the knowledge, and da 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 da. Now we have the knowledge in book format. So when we understand Veda, we should not understand it to mean that it is only a book. It is a knowledge that is eternal truth of our creation. It is that knowledge which reveals all the objects of the world. That is what we mean by Veda. So it is Anadi, and it is Nitya, eternal, meaning it will not end. So here what we mean is Veda is in a state of unmanifest, then it manifests, and then it unmanifests. So it goes through the cycle of unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest. And because it goes through that cycle, we call it Pravahi Nitya. Like how a river flows, right? And when a river flows, we seem to think that it is the same water in which, who is the sage who brought Ganga? Bhagirath, yes. So we think that it is the same river water that Bhagirath took bath in. Actually, it is not. Oh, I'm not going to Ganga anymore. No. The thought and where the water is flowing, that is still the source. So the idea is that as the water flows, the nature of the water changes, though the flow of the river continues. Similarly, the state which is going from unmanifest to manifest to unmanifest. That is why it is Nitya this way. It is unmanifest because either it is lost, or either when the pralaya will happen, when everything will be dissolved, it will be dissolved. So that's why when I said that Brahmaji gave the knowledge to his children, and Brahmaji only the first person to realize this knowledge. So when he realized, he created based on this knowledge only. Based on the knowledge of Veda only, he created the entire creation. So when he created, that was the state of manifest. And then it changes the level of manifestation. And now, today that we don't have all the mantras that were there back in Satya Yuga Satya Yuga. That is the first Yuga. So we don't have all those Vedas. We have only some form. So some have now gone to that state of unmanifest. Till some Rishi comes and revives that knowledge again, they will stay in that state of unmanifest. Idea is that it cannot be destroyed. We cannot destroy Veda. Just as how the principle of gravity we cannot destroy. Now we cannot say that I destroyed gravity by elevating. No, we didn't destroy gravity. We just found a means to go against the science of gravity. That's all. And we cannot say, I created gravity. How can you create gravity? Isaac Newton created gravity. Even he didn't create it. That's why you say he discovered, right? So, Shodhana, a discovery happened where that which was in state of unmanifest came to the manifest level. So that's what we say, that this knowledge, this Veda, is anadi, beginningless and eternal. Always there. Nitya. But Pravahi Nitya. This is not the same understanding as Brahman. When we say Brahman is beginningless, we say there is no creator for that. Brahman. Here there is creator, not creator, but there is manifester. So when it came to that manifested state, Brahman doesn't manifest. Always stays in unmanifest state. What manifests is Ishvara, which is now all the projections and the turbulence and all these things. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas flowing all in mix. That is what then creation becomes. But Brahman always stays unmanifest. And Brahman, we say, is Kutastha Nitya. Like a anchor. Like it will always be there. It will never change. No modification, no changes, no manifest to unmanifest. Always will be one state. So that's difference that we have to understand. Okay. So Vedas are sometimes called Anadi, Nitya, then sometimes called Ananta. People say Ananto vai Veda, vast. So Vedas are vast. There are so many. I was just Googling to see if somebody actually counted how many mantras in there. And Google gave that people have counted, just Rig Veda they told me. Somebody counted about 10,500 or so Rig Veda mantras are there. And I think Rig Veda has more mantras than the other three. So you can do your research now if you want. But now you just think about it, that these many mantras are there in one Veda. How many are there? And that is also now in this state, which is manifest. All that unmanifested. What about that? So we say it is Ananta. There are vastless mantras in Veda that talk about many, many things. That is one understanding. The other is that it talks about many, many things. Vedas are vast because it covers a vast range of objects. Things that we had not even thought about, it will talk about. The first thing, I guess, this is what I had heard. I don't know, I've not read. Somebody, some priest had told that Agnim Ide, something like that, the Rig Veda starts. Agnim Ide Purohitaha. So Agni is considered Purohit. And then there is so much glorification of Agni Devata. And like that, different aspects of the natures are glorified. Then the upasanas are brought about of how to worship Surya or how to worship these other devatas. Reveals different objects. And that is another way we can say that Vedas are Ananta, vast. Nothing that we can easily comprehend and say, yes, I've understood this is Vedas. So that is another understanding. And one more understanding is that Vedas are apaurushaya, meaning it is not a composition or a creation of a human effort. It is not something that few minds came together to make the knowledge possible. You think about it, the knowledge that is covered in there. People cannot just imagine that how somebody can do that. How is this possible that somebody is able to come up with this kind of knowledge? It had to have been some divine force to have given this. Even certain times, the mantras that you will see, how they were composed and how they have formed are even mind-boggling, which a human mind cannot grasp at all. And then, if you look at human beings themselves, we have 4 defects. Human beings have 4 defects. And because of these defects, we can certainly say we have not created Veda, or not even put in effort to create Veda. The first defect is our instrument are limited. Our instrument meaning the 5 senses, the mind, the intellect, our way of knowing the world, that itself is limited. It's called karana apatava. Karana means instrument, apatava means limitedness, has certain faults in them. If you think about it, somebody screams top of their lungs, and we will say what? अरे जरा आवाज कम करो, इतने जोर से बोलने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. You don't have to talk this loud. Why are you screaming at top of your lungs? You can say the same thing calmly. Okay, can you hear me now? What? You can't hear me. We have a range where we can hear. And that range, if it meets, we're able to hear. And then as we age, that range also decreases. But in that range only we can hear. Now, if you think about that, just one instrument, same thing with eyes. We can only see in some range. We can't see infrared lights. We can't see ultraviolet lights. Sometimes when somebody turns on so many lights, we say, "Oh, this is so blinding. Can you switch some lights off?" So we only have certain range which as human beings we're able to see. Mind has a limitation. Mind can only grasp in certain thoughts because it's filled with desires. If it doesn't fit my desire, it doesn't fit my frame of likeness, I will not listen to it. I will not even bother thinking about it. I'll just let it go. So we have this limitation in our instrument, and through that limitation, not possible that we came up with such a vast knowledge, such an unhumanly task that is there. So that is one. Other is Brahma. Delusion. Humans are always fallen to this. Somebody said something, and I start thinking, oh, that person is laughing because maybe my face is something wrong or something. I'll do something like this. Is it something stuck on my chin or something? We have this notion because we have limited understanding of ourselves. We have only separated ourselves to think that I am this and everybody else is that. So in this and that, we will always try to compare and contrast. I want to look better. I want to have a lot. I want to feel better. And then in that, we create many different delusions. So our mind will create delusions. Third is pramada. Pramada means inadvertence. Not that a person is lazy. It's just that either the person didn't understand it correctly or was thinking about other things, preoccupied with other thoughts. And because of that, was not able to do whatever was given. Now you just simply think about it. On our Facebook website, meaning on the Facebook, this flyer was there. But then I saw the timings. I was going to tell Raviji to correct the timings. It said that the classes will start at 7:30. So it's not that we're saying that, we're lazy or anything. It's just the idea that sometimes we may be doing many things, and in that we forget. Guruji shares the story that Guruji was supposed to give a lecture on Viveka Chudamani. So they created these flyers and all these different things. And then they showed it to Guruji. And it had said, Satsang by Viveka Chudamani on Viveka Chaitanya. Guruji's first name before sannyas was Vivek Chaitanya. So Viveka Chudamani will speak on Viveka Chaitanya. Pura ulta kar diya. Right? So what was the understanding? What understanding came? So that is also our limitation. These are some limitations that we have. And the final limitation is biases. Our personal notion or feeling that it should be this way only. It should not be this way. Sanskrit, it is called vipralipsa. Vipralipsa. And we see that. Where our likes and dislikes will be, there our biases will be. I like this person so much. So I will hear everything that this person will say. Even if that means that the person is talking bad about somebody. Yes, you're correct. And if it's the other way, I don't like this person. I will always think negative about that person. This person has nothing good to say to anybody. Always thinking like that. What a poor state of mind. What about our poor state of mind, always thinking this way? So our biases are there. Now, these are some reasons that we should think that we couldn't have possibly created Vedas. People say, or I had heard amongst my friends and things, they would say that these rishis that they came up with this, they would have had to written, right? So even if they had to write, they would have had to have their personal biases to write it. How could they have written this without such biases? It's actually not true. You can only write certain things by bias if it is coming from your intellect, your own thinking. If it is a revelation, if it is a dictation, you can call it. By that divine principle, it is a dictation. You just write it the way it is. You're not making any changes to it. You're just writing the way it is. And that's the understanding. that they never used their mind and intellect to write all of this. They were just going with the flow of the divine. That's why it was written, but it was always in the mind and intellect. This is some thoughts about what is Veda, how to understand Vedas, and the knowledge that we are going to study. The Upanishads should not think is a human creation. It is there, and we should be grateful that it is there. Now, a little more understanding about how a person comes to this path or line of coming to Upanishad or studies of Upanishad. So we'll start with the idea of the 4 Purusharthas. You all know, right? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The 4 Purusharthas are there. So there is a very good verse, and I'm sure that you all know, but I'll still say it. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha etat samanam pashubhed naranam. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshah dharmena hinah pashubhis samana. 4 things which are common between humans and animals. Ahara, meaning consumption of food, intake, ahara. Nidra, sleep. Bhaya, fear. Maithunam, procreation or desire for children, progeny. So these 4 are common in animals and humans. We also sleep, we also take food, we also sleep, we also have fears, insecurities, and desire for progeny. But what we find is, in animals, these are controlled. Animals will only eat when they are hungry. Timing doesn't matter. When they are hungry, they will eat. When they are not hungry, they will not eat. Human beings, uncontrolled. Even if we are not hungry, we will eat. And when we are hungry, we will just say, no. Aaj to Ashtami ka vrat hai. Today I am fasting, so I will not eat. So even if we are hungry, we will put that control over ourselves and say, no, I will not eat. So it is not controlled. That ahara is not controlled. We will just do how we want to do. Nidra. They will only sleep. Animals will only sleep when they have desired sleep. If they don't have that desired sleep, they will not sleep. Dogs, they sleep a lot. All day almost, yeah. Similar to ours only. We also sleep that much, especially on weekends. Because that time comes, I had so much work. Now I can relax and just sleep in today. So when we don't want to sleep, we will sleep. And when we want to sleep, we will say, no, I can't sleep. I have to finish this project. My child has to stay up, so I have to stay up so I can give him a company. Otherwise, if I go to sleep, the child will not be motivated to study. So I have to also stay up and be with the child. even though you may be tired and sleepy. So ours is totally uncontrolled. Fear. They will only fear, animals will only fear if they have an attack on themselves. If they have an attack to their physical safety or their existence as a being. If somebody attacks that, they will have a fear. They don't have any other fear. They're not afraid of, am I looking better than this guy or this dog? Is my tail little crooked than this dog's tail? Will I be able to attract any other female dog? No such insecurities, no such feelings. I mean, they'll mark their territories. That they do. I had seen in our ashram in Sandipani. Each dog had their territories. And if you cross, there is feud. So they only have a fear of their security, of their existence. We have so many insecurities to talk about. Starting from my nail. How does my nail look today? Is it properly manicured? How are my feet today? Properly pedicured? I have to go bare feet. People should be able to feel that, I'm not some animal walking with long nails, not polished. Or what about my facial beard? Is it looking proper? Did I shave properly? Are there those hairs sticking at the neck? We do all these things. Small insecurities. And obviously we have the bigger insecurity of death. We also have that fear that what if this person comes and attacks my life, my existence, who I am. So we're not ready for that. And procreation. Animals have mating seasons. We have no season. Right? So we will be uncontrolled. Now you may have just thought that I just bashed our human beings for who we are. Animal life is actually better than that. If you think about it, it's not. Their behavior is controlled. Somebody is actually ruling how they behave. Nobody is ruling us how we behave. We ourselves determine how we behave. So there is that free will. We have that freedom to choose what we want to be, what we want to do. And that's why that uncontrolled is actually good. It is, we should consider as a gift from Bhagwan, that it is uncontrolled. It identifies an individual from other individual. It gives that person a sense of identity. Otherwise, it will be just like same as all animals. What's the difference? So being uncontrolled is actually good. But what is common was just these four things. What is uncommon between those things? Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha. Only dharma is different between the two. Have you ever seen an animal go and protect another animal? You have?
Yeah, like how protects their offspring.
Offsprings. I'm saying other animals.
Many times.
You have?
For example, Google.
Really?
What species control? There are a lot of cases where dolphins have come and saved you.
When monkeys also save other species.
So they may do that then. But I was thinking that I will never see a dog save a rat, or a cat help a rat. Only in Tom and Jerry shows will probably be happening, but there also there is always a feud. So we have something that they don't have, and that is this dharma. And through this dharma, we can modify our path, our way of life, our way of being, our way of worship. And that is why dharma is necessary or essential. So the 4 purusharthas we all know, right? Artha, kama. Then I'll come to dharma and moksha. Artha is the desire to acquire or aggrandize wealth. And that desire is that no matter what, I want this and I should have it. So for that, we do so many things. Even if it means that I have to work 2 jobs, I will do. But I have to get the wealth because I want that car. My sister, she'll probably be watching and she'll tell me, what are you talking about? She used to joke and say, we should buy a Ferrari. And then my dad would say, you want to sell the house and live in the Ferrari? So artha not only just mean wealth, but all sorts of material objects and things that we all want to gain. So that desire, and that desire is uncontrolled, right? Because we are that way, we are made that way, that if a desire is there, I will want to gain, I will want to just grab all different things. And it can also mean that if I have to get it, then by hook or crook, I will get it done. We can come to that limit if it is not given to us. So artha, acquiring wealth. Kama, desire. Same way. We want to fulfill all our desires because we think that the objects will give us happiness. And they do. They give us happiness temporarily. For that small period of time, they give us that happiness. And because they do, I feel that if I can have all the objects in the world, I'll be infinitely happy. So then I go and fulfilling all the desires that I can. Just focusing on fulfilling desire, 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 desire. And as we do that, we see that we are more and more sad, 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 sad. Because fulfilling desire, you have to create more desire. One desire we fulfilled, another desire will come up. Today I made nice shira, but I should add a little flavoring next time, some kesar or something. And then next time will be, no, today is somebody's birthday and I should make, and that will be really good. Oh, all those people really enjoyed. You know what? Maybe I should try it. And that will be good for also. That will be also good for me. Let me taste how my food and cooking tastes. And then we start eating that. Oh, wow, this is so good. I should go on cooking more now. One desire we fulfill, it creates more desire. And there is never an end to it. So that's why dharma is there. Dharma is there to put a control over this. So when we are thinking from that dharmic point of view, it will control our desires. It will control our desire for earning wealth. Scriptures are not telling us that we should not earn wealth. We definitely should earn wealth. but have a control over how we go about it. No hook or crook, by right means, by righteous means. That's where the word is coming as righteous. It just sets a boundary for us. And when that boundary is set, we have a good motion. We have a good flow. And the narrower and narrower you keep the boundary, the flow becomes faster and faster. That's how the rivers go, right? The narrower and narrower the banks of the river are, the faster the water will flow. All spread out, you will go nowhere. So dharma is putting the boundary on our artha and kama. So that way, all the desires that we fulfill, they only stay to that level. They don't give rise to new desires. Then we don't say that, oh, wish I had that, wish I had more. It takes us out of this desire. It says, I enjoyed what I had to enjoy. And because I enjoyed, I don't think there is greater thing in this. I don't find anything great in this because it will give me the same joy every single time. It will not give me something different. And the other thing is, it will only give me for that moment. It will not give me something more that goes and lasts longer. The action you do and the result you get, you will not get a different result if you continue performing the same action. So by acquiring smaller happiness, we will never gain a bigger happiness. So what dharma does is, it allows us to fulfill our desires and then grow out of them. And once you grow out of them, you have to have some other desires. You can't just grow out and be nothing. And that's when this desire, one picks up on moksha. I want happiness that is lasting. I don't want this fleeting happiness. Something that comes for a moment and then goes away. I don't want that. I'm tired of that. So thinking this way, one goes to the path of moksha. If you're playing with the same toy forever, you will either be really sad or you have not found a different toy. We always are looking for something better and something lasting. That's our nature. You don't go and look for a job which is for 2 days. I want permanent job. We don't go and look for a house where we are staying there as a rental. I want permanent house. When we shop for vegetables, we don't shop for those vegetables that are, perishable, and the moment you get home, they will be gone bad. You don't go and buy bananas that are really rotten. We don't do that. We want something that is going to last longer. Our search is always of longer. And by following the path of dharma is where we see that what I'm getting and what I'm desiring are two different things. We allow our mind to see that. And when we allow that mind to see that there is greater happiness to achieve, that's when the seeker is now coming. That doesn't mean that he has left the path that he was on. He's just now desiring more. And as you desire more, something you will have to give up. So the ultimate stage, yes, will be that you will give up your artha kama, desire for artha kama, and then ultimately you will even give up the desire for dharma. I knew it. These people who work on moksha are adharmic only. That's not the idea. Dharma is no longer needed for them because their mind is not flowing through that channel anymore. They have found their identity, so they're not seeking for an identity anymore. So as this person journeys through all the desires, all the other three purusharthas, they come to this last purushartha where they want moksha, and without that they will not be satisfied. The common thing amongst all these four purushartha is they're all seeking for happiness. We all go for wealth knowing that it will give us happiness. We are happiness, power, and through that power only we will get happiness, power to purchase, power to do things with it. So that is the power we are gaining. It is a sad thing sometimes to see that people go for wealth, they have the power, and they say, I don't want to spend it because then I'll lose my power. You have never exercised your power. The power is when you actually get things. That's when you show that you have a power of wealth, when you spend your money. But if you don't spend and you just hoard, then you have never exercised your power. You are just powerless the whole time. So this person is continuing in this journey. And as this person continues the journey, the stage comes, and that is for moksha. And then for that upadesha, for that person who is now seeking, they have to come to this knowledge that the Shruti gives them. And that is the knowledge given in Upanishad. So this much understanding we have. For what is Vedas, how we should understand Vedas, how are the four Purusharthas, and the underlying principles behind them. One more thought that came to mind. And I've said it, but I'm saying it in a different way this time. The result created by artha, kama, and dharma is anitya. Right? It is not eternal. It is not long-lasting. It is short-lived, temporary, ephemeral. The result created by moksha is eternal. Longing happiness. Even those people who have not realized, but at least are on the path to go and do things, you will see them more happier. I feel. That's how I see. Their continuous practice, their journey, that itself gives them more happiness than they were to get from artha, kama, and moksha, dharma. So the result created, or result given by moksha, is eternal happiness. And that is why we are also seeking that, and we will study that in the weeks coming forward. So that is all for today. Now, if you don't have a book, the book is Kenopanishad, and we will have those books. I think that is the old version. They may have the different covers.
3 colors are there.
3 or 4 colors are there. So you can purchase them through our mission either on Sunday, or we can have them here next week, and then you can purchase it through there that way. Okay.
Do we need the new one?
No. Yeah, it's the same thing, just different cover. They always, change the cover because we are more attracted by the cover than by the content. So more and more changes come. This is good. The Upanishad has changed. So maybe I will see a better truth now. So same content. So if you don't have a book, you can reflect through that. There's a good story there by Puja Gurudev, so you can read that good introductory story of the ant. Okay, let's do our concluding prayer. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.